And a very good morning to you. Hey, you're right. Morning, woman. It's a Tuesday morning. You're welcome to the first show on First Digital TV. My name is Ania Pompofo. I'm so sorry for my voice. Pardon me. I started doing Jama last night.
Really?
Yeah. So I was really, in fact, after my voice was really terrible when I woke up this morning.
You've already started.
Yeah, I've done, yes. You know, pray Jama. I put myself in a celebration mood since last night, and I'm so sorry for my voice. But my name is Annie. You're welcome to the first show. I'm also here with my able supporter. You know, behind every successful woman there's a man.
Are you serious? Are you really sure about this?
Behind every successful woman there's a man. And so I'm here with.
Well, you changed the position. So well and good. My name is Alfredo Kanse. And I don't know if it's beside or in front or behind, but I think we all
behind. I said behind.
Really?
It's not inside, in front. I said behind. Whether you like it or yet. Behind every successful woman, there's a man. And I know the women out there will actually believe in what I'm saying. So, first of all, you're welcome to the first show. And today is another day we're going to delve a lot into our budget and reading today, and we're still going to take a look at some other aspect that we weren't able to cover yesterday concerning the 2013 budget. So we'll do more analysis because we're going to have the economists in the house, and then they will tell us on what to do, what to expect this morning. But later on in the show, we're definitely going to be talking Black Stars.
Yes, for me, this 2014 budget should have a direct impact, you know, on the ordinary Ghanaian. And because here's the case where they say they are moving from what we call a program-based budget to an activity-based budget.
Yeah.
So if it's an activity-based budget, it means that all the problems that we face in that previous system should have or would be corrected in this activity-based budget. And we need to benefit from all the budget that we put out there. Look, for the past almost 6, 7 to 10 years now, our budget has been financed 60% by multi-donor agencies for that matter. We've operated a multi-donor budgetary support system all this while. Donors have decided not to give us the funding we need anymore. What do we do to generate enough money to go and do the projects that can affect their lives? So let's explore how we can generate revenue internally, not only taxing people, increasing taxes here and there, making the whole thing
the vertical and the horizontal style of taxation.
I mean, we have a very,
I'm going to do more today.
very harsh way of
this story says minority fight government over VAT. Now, the minority in Parliament yesterday chastised the government for the hike in the value-added tax by 2.5% and called on Ghanaians to rise to resist pressure oppressors' rule. Why did it become necessary for the hikes in utility tariff rates to be lowered, and then the VAT rate to be increased so suddenly? Now, is it a case of double speak, Mr. President? It asked. Addressing the press conference in Accra yesterday, the minority leader, Chairman Sabonsu, said the net effect of the increase was that the purchasing power of consumers would contract. But the minority insists that the increase in the rate of VAT is long overdue, arguing that the upward review has become necessary for the government to raise more money to finance its development projects and programs. Now, the majority leader, Dr. Benjamin Kumbo, also told newsmen soon after the increase that notwithstanding the actions, Ghana was still among the lowest VAT-rated countries in the world. Well, and we'll delve more into this matters today. Ghana for double Egypt as Black Stars aim to beat Pharaohs again. Black Stars keeper Asamoah Gyan is thrilled by the idea of becoming the youngest player to qualify Ghana to the FIFA World Cup, as the captain, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still like in a wilderness, but you brought me back to life. You answer all the puzzles in my heart, yeah.
Welcome back. This is the first show on First Digital TV, and today we're talking the budget. We're just doing some review of what happened to our previous budget, that's the 2013 budget, and then going forward, what we should expect or what we are expecting in the upcoming budget that's supposed to be read in Parliament by the Finance Minister today on the floor of the Parliament House. And I have already in the studio Mr. Honorable Timothy Atabwade. I want him today. I got it right? I want him, former MP of Bisa North. I also have Mr. Sam Ampa. He is a financial analyst, also working with the Gold Coast Fund. And also in the studio is Kofi Kokobo. He's also a governance expert. He is going to help us do some analysis of some policies that have been put in place by government and probably have not been able to fulfill those policies, how it's going to affect us, and what we can do to avoid more pressure. We have to absorb less pressure than more pressure. So my name is Annie, and I've already been joined in the studio by our guests. I'll say good morning, gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming this morning, and you're welcome to the studio.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, Mr. Zaman, this is your first time.
Yeah,
these gentlemen are our friends. So you hopefully you become a usual friend.
Well, let's hope so.
Let's hope so. I know you have a busy schedule, but we hope so. Going forward, let's just start with just brief analysis. First of all, opening remarks. What we are expecting today. We're presenting a budget today. What are we expecting? I'll start with you, Mr. Sanamba.
Well, thank you very much. The expectations are high. I mean, a lot has happened in the past. A lot has happened within the 2013. And people are expecting so much in the 2014 budget. What people are expecting most of the time could be that of the high budget deficits that we have. What we intend to do in 2014 to bring down the budget deficit. For the currency, for example, we've had a high depreciation of the currency for the past 2 years. People are expecting to hear how government will work at, somehow stabilizing the high rate of depreciation of our local currency. There's been a lot of talk on the single spine salary structure, which government is claiming that it is having a heavy toll on its deficits structure. And definitely we want to know how they are going to clean the have a clean wage salary, ghost names, clean it, if there's a need for that, which certainly most of us believe there are a lot of ghost names in the pay structure. And then we also have high expectations of what on the unemployment situation and how government is going to really create jobs. I mean, there's a lot of people who are on the street who are finding jobs. We really want to know what job policy the government will come up with, and the expectations are many. I mean, I see the 2013 as a much more challenging year, because most of the projections being made by government in the 2013 budget seemingly not about 60% were not achieved. So could it be that they will perhaps carry it on to 2014 and see that those projects are completed rather than starting new projects? So we have a high rate of expectations for the 2014 budget.
And these have been some of the issues that has confronted us in the past, and I think that we've come a long way. The Minister of Finance has so much experience, having worked with the previous Minister of Finance, and having looked at that direction. This particular year has been a very difficult year. The city has been unstable, the inflation is going up to 13% plus and so on. We must build the policies that will enable us completely reduce the deficit, completely reduce the interest rate, and then the city is depreciating at an alarming rate. If we don't do that, I don't see how we are going to move forward. There's a lot that the government must achieve in the coming year, including the single span salary that we talked about. If indeed the single span salary is really causing a lot of public anxiety expenditure, paying just about 700,000 public workers, and then the 25 million people will go out there suffering. We must ensure that we get a solution to this problem. It should be a bipartisan approach.
And I know we're going to do justice to that. Minister Kukubo.
Yeah, I feel it's when you look at the 2012 turnout, we experience decline, or we are experiencing decline in certain areas, agricultural sector, because I just want to link it up to the employment and all that things. Then the industrial sector also is not really picking up, because all these two critical areas affect employment of the people of this country. So what some of us will be expecting for the 2014 budget is a policy that will stimulate the economy. Taxes are on the high, utility services are on the high, so therefore cost of production or coming up with a product or offering a service is also increasing, because definitely the companies or the manufacturers or the suppliers will definitely pass the cost to the buyer or the consumer. Now, when that is happening, you see that there will be certain decline in purchase in some sectors, and once there is decline in purchase, it affects the tax that the government also is expected to generate from such this. So I think the policy should be in a way that the 2014 should stimulate the at least agricultural and the industrial or the manufacturing sector, because that is where the employment is going to be. However, if you also observe 2012, I think largely the reason why we are experiencing serious issues, the 2013 budget serious issue this year was that I think we also depended heavily in our policy formulation on the oil and gas, which also experienced decline because the targets that were set for the oil and gas sector could not be achieved because there was a decline. The expectation that was being put across they were so high, and it fell far below. Then when it comes to the gas sector, how do you call it? We suffer from the West African gas pipeline, which also affected industry. Then the Abodi, is it Abodi plant? The one they are building now. What's the name?
Buidam.
No, the gas, that 12 exactly. Also, so that all the timelines could not be met, is also affected. Then we also experience serious outages when it comes to electricity. All these things affected, and coupled with labor agitations all around. And again, people always do not want to accept this. We spent 9 months also in court trying to determine who really won our presidential elections. All these factors affected the 2013 targets that were set. So I believe then also there also decline on the side of the donor agencies, serious decline, which we experience every year. And at times I wonder why we allocate a high percentage of our budget for donor input, because every year we experience decline from donor input. Then also because we are now being regarded as lower middle income, then there are certain loans or how do you call it, grants, and the loans that's with very low interest will also not be forthcoming. Therefore, we should also be thinking of going to the financial market. And to go to the financial market, then we also need to look at the risk factors of the nation. Because if the nation is seen to be of a higher risk end, then the cost of borrowing even from the financial market also will go high. So I'm expecting that the 2014 financial policy or economic policy and budget should focus on stimulating certain critical sectors of our economy, so that once those sectors are working, the revenue end will become higher than even the expenditure side. They made mention of the deficit already, so I won't speak further.
What does our deficit stand now?
It's not about 12%.
Yeah.
12% of the GDP from 6%. From 6%. Yeah, from 6% to 12%. So that's 100%.
Expectations are overwhelmingly high. I'll be very much disappointed.
It's because we were doing a carry forward of a lot of the items here.
We have to do carry forward. Most of the targets, like he said, cannot achieve. They do 60%.
We will cut and pay.
Yes.
That's what's been happening.
That is what is going on.
Mr. Gopa, I wanted to find out from you. We rely so much on donor support, and so we use them to do our projections, and then in the end, we disappoint ourselves and our people. What is the dangers in that particular practice?
You see, I like citing example that everybody practices at home, because whatever we practice at home is the same thing that we carry to the national level. Now, if as a father or mother, a parent of a family, every year you come up with your budget. Now, if you decide that, okay, 60% of my family budget should be funded by from a friend, now, okay, that means you are saying that it's only when the economy of your friend improves than my budget also will be affected. Similar thing that is happening to us. Now, secondly, when I want to give you a loan, then I must set the conditions. What are the conditions? The conditions only to make sure that I can get my loan back with interest. Now, my brother made mention of subsidy, and they say take off subsidy, increase tax, because they are telling you that, okay, I want to give you the loan, all right, but how do I get my loan back with interest? I feel for me to be sure that my loan can be repaid or serviced, remove subsidy, increase tax. This is a simple arithmetic they are doing. So because I'm giving a loan, I want my money back with interest, and I'm seeing that with your current situation, you cannot pay back my loan. So before I give you my loan, remove subsidy, increase tax, and now even import levy now is about 100%.
Yeah.
Almost 100%. It's amazing, because things that we're charging now, if it goes back, it's double. It's double of the import levy. Now it's going to affect every aspect of our economy or sectors. So we need to be very careful. I strongly believe that we have various avenues and sectors that can help this economy easily. The problem is that we have too many wastes in our system. You may even add corruption to it, because once the loopholes are many, it also creates room for corruption. For people take advantage of the loopholes and the waste in the system, then also to benefit themselves. Thirdly, I think most of our budget or economic policies are too short-term oriented. We need to have a long-term economic policy. You see, this economic policy that is tied to 2 years, 3 years, 4 years cannot move a nation forward, because we need to look at the fundamentals of this country. Every 4 years, people say, oh, it is because of the elections that the deficit is out of control. It's because our expenditure is not supported by any sustainable revenue aspect. Because every ordinary business, he's into business, there are certain period of the year that your expenditure aspect of your finance increases, because there are certain activity level also that are increasing to bring in more revenue. But in our case, the activities on expenditure side is increasing, while the revenue side is not corresponding to the expenditure aspect. That means the fundamentals of our economy, they are not there. So they cannot sustain any slight increase on the expenditure dimension. Now, I keep on saying all the time that let's look at our ministries and government agencies. Most of them are cost areas. I strongly believe that when we look at most of our agencies, some of them can be turned to become a revenue generating area. You see, National Youth Authority, National Service Scheme, we are dealing with the youth aspect of our economy, and I've been saying that we cannot turn those two sectors to a revenue generating sector where we have every year about 80,000 youth, talented, intelligent, brilliant, creative. Then you just place them to certain areas where some of them just go and waste and come back.
that we do not have any progression, that after national service we can put certain measures in place that can move them into a revenue generating activity that can show up the economy. When you go back to the port, look, the port alone in this country can sustain the economy of this country.
Yes.
I'm telling you, the revenue that Temaport alone, I'll not even mention of the Takoradi and the airport,
It's a fact.
and then Aflawu and the rest. The Temaport alone.
Yeah, but if donor agencies are giving us money and they expect us to remove what do you call it? They expect us to take off our what we're paying for the Ghanaians and then increase VAT. It means that we can ourselves do it and keep the money and use it for our own developmental activities.
No, you see, you're talking about the tax component.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the revenue component. I'm saying that the revenue that Temaport alone generates a month, then if you multiply it by 12 months, we do not need any donor support. But there are too many wastes in the system at Temaport alone, and we all know it. The government knows it. Other agencies know it. The donor agencies, they know it. The workers, they know it.
Mr. Kukubo, you mentioned the ministries being able to generate.
No, not ministries, agencies. Because ministries are supposed to be policy formulating sectors.
Right.
Then there are certain agencies under them that always just government is spending on them. Now, let's take example. For several years, GTV was always being subsidized. Why should GTV be subsidized? It's first digital, not a private entity. Are you not meeting your expenditure and their pay salaries, and you're even expanding? Why should government be subsidizing Ghana television? That's a government institution. Of late, Graphic has been able to turn around and they're making profits. Channel is also trying hard to follow. You see, these are some of the agencies I'm talking about. Now we have a lot of them that have no right to still be depending on government for money. They can do enough and even pay money back to government coffers. I don't see why the metropolitan authorities, the AMA, KMA, and the rest, should think of getting money from any government source. Because by the virtue of companies alone, property tax in terms of residence, and various taxes around within the metropolis, is enough for those district, municipal and metropolitan authority to generate enough. What about the support that government will give to the district assemblies should be minimal. In that case, more money can be given to the central government to focus on priority projects that can expand and link up the whole country and expand the economy. I feel that's what I'm saying. Our economic policies are too short term. We are not really sitting down to think through. And when we think through, then we begin to now have a long-term economic policy. Then we build a long-term to 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years. We know that within 2 years or 1 year, we want to achieve this. That will move the economy to the next level. So we must have that projection. Without that,
I want to call for a video. We had an interview with Dr. Kibi Asante yesterday, but we'll call for it later. But before that, quickly, there have been suggestions of government decentralizing financial policies away from the financial ministry or the finance ministry, so that other ministries can also handle their finances per the ministries according to the way they operate, other than we always relying on only the finance ministry. Should ministry A wants this amount of money, it should come from the finance ministry. Should ministry B everything should be focused on the finance ministry. Is there any means we can do some detachment from the finance ministry so some ministries can handle their own financial issues on their by themselves?
I mean, I don't know where that school of thought is coming from, but what perhaps I will say is that rather we should empower the districts to be able to raise municipal bonds and then some sort of CPs.
That will call for the amendment of the local government Act.
That's it basically, because we have gotten to the stage where they rather should be independent of government's expenditure list, so that government can free itself from the developmental activities of these districts and then concentrate on some other things. because I mean it's a best practice that if a district bond or municipal bond is raised, it could go directly into providing some basic infrastructure development for the communities or the districts therein, and therefore would not put so much pressure. Now, if you hear the districts complain that their common fund has not come, they're all sitting down waiting for government to push their common fund, and that is the problem. So therefore it tells that development is not going on at the district level, and that is where the key, I mean, as to whether you decouple from Ministry of Finance from the other ministries, I don't see the argument. The key thing is to decouple district as local government administration from the key government, you know.
That is where the focus
that is where the focus, and I saw it in the budget, 2013 budget, that we're going to, you know, get the municipal bonds and all the, but it didn't happen. You know, so I'm just hoping that
because the local government act is not amended.
it's not amended,
so you cannot,
you know, so it becomes a problem. So there's a lot of things that we are pushing at the back door that is really not helping. It's not helping our growth. I mean, currently, look, if you look at our growth trajectory for 2013, we're not going to meet it. Our GDP growth, I mean, we're estimating over 8% GDP growth for 2013. Currently, we will not achieve that 8% GDP growth for 2013. We're hovering around 7% now, based on the Bank of Ghana's MPC report that were released. I mean, so critical, we have an issue from a 14% GDP growth down to 8%, you know, and now trickling down to 7%. That means we are going down, you know, and certain sectors are very important. If you, like you mentioned, if you look at the agriculture sector, for example, which has been the bane of our growth trajectory for the past years, the agriculture sector is virtually going down. It's virtually down, you know.
Because it was estimated to grow about 4.8%.
Yes.
And
There were three, it was 3 or 2.
2.6 or something.
You know, and
2.6.
2.6. You know, so what are we doing to ourselves? And look, if you,
Food sufficiency.
yes, we can't even
Basic food sufficiency.
basic food we can't even produce in our country. I mean, what is going on in this country? Where in the past, food was just something you can just go to. I mean, you know, sometimes I really do not want to. I think that we should have gotten above the stage that we are in as a country now.
So let's go for the
Let me just-
video. You want to say something?
Yeah, you know, just about the food. Do you know that even multinational corporations are importing vegetables from even Cote d'Ivoire? We can produce common cabbage and
Cote d'Ivoire and Burkina Faso.
Just vegetables, and that is so much money.
Don't want to miss it on the bus. We're going to have you're going to have everything that you need, and with discussions, with the live match, the match they're going to be playing, the discussion they're going to be making, and we're going to be bringing our sports team. Are powerful enough to bring some very informative guests into the studio to help us with the discussions. But we're doing Black Stars now. And I have been joined in the studio by Nana Kwesi. He's our guest now. But all of these people are hosts. And then we have a guest with us. So Honorable Timothy, Mr. Samapa, Mr. Kokobo, we are hosts, plus me, host. Mr. Nana Kwesi, thank you for your time. Good morning to you.
Thank you too, and I'm really glad I'm on your set today.
Oh, thank you. And so we are in a mood now. I started doing my Jama last night, and if you could tell, my voice is a bit, husky this morning because I've started celebrating already. Am I right to celebrate?
Yes, why not? The Black Stars are playing. We are beating Pharaoh. The Pharaohs. This is football.
So you tell us. I'm to ask you the our tactics, the chances of our winning. Is it possible?
And thank you very much once again, and a very good morning to our viewers out there. I think we're on the verge of qualifying to Brazil 2014 because the first leg, everything was like, are we going to beat Egyptians in Kumasi? I was in Kumasi, but before the match, I wasn't myself because I was asking the same question.
Are we
How will we be able even to beat 6 times African champions?
We've been beating them.
And we saw them before. That was in friendly.
many
That was 3 goals to 0. It was in friendly match. In competitive match, we've never given them that goals like 6 or maybe 5 before. So a lot of questions was raised. Like are we going to score them? But we managed to give them 6 goals to 1. Now, the first leg was like, let's kill the game and once and for all. If we should score them more goals, or it's going to be a game. Now,
I'm not giving them
now we are in Egypt now. Security tensions and everything was high, but our able president, His Excellency, has assured everybody, the supporters, and then FIFA has assured that nothing is going to happen. We should go in there and play the match. Kusiapia and his boys are well poised for action. They've trained in Istanbul, back in Cairo. They trained yesterday, and then the only thing we have the slight injury, which is David Adi is a defender who is injured. But with Kevin Prince Boateng, who a lot of questions was raised whether he's going to play or not. This morning, a little bit injury, but he's going to be either playing the first half or second half. Come to what is going on in camp. Everybody is poised for action. The boys are well prepared, because if you are playing for Ghana Black Star, and it's like playing for a whole world team, because now Black Star puts the name Ghana everywhere you go. If you get to Parliament now, the ministers will even bear me. If you get to Parliament, if it's about Black Stars, there's nothing like opposition
minority and
or
majority.
who is even ruling. Black Stars unite everybody together. So I'm really happy today you invited me on the show just to talk about Black Star, and I think today we are going to beat the Egyptians, because as our media MPs are saying, so we are going to score them. And then if you talk about tactically, Kusiapia is going to play. If what he played in Kumasi is going to be the same, then I think he's going to play the same boys he played in Kumasi, which is going to be 4-4-2 formation. I think you don't know what is 4-4-2 formation.
I was asking the other time.
You play 4 defenders and then 4 midfielders and then 4 attackers. That makes it 10.
When it's 4-4-2 and it plays on the TV, you see it.
Yeah.
You see the arrangement. You
Yeah.
have that's number 4 here, 4 here, and you have the 2 there.
Yeah, that's what they call it 4-4-2. But when on the field of play, when the 4-4-2 is not working, he tries to vary the tactics, and then he comes back maybe 4-5-1, whereby the striker or the Asamoah will be the low man at the head, and then maybe the person playing with Asamoah will come back behind Asamoah playing, making it 4-5-1, making the defenders 5, and then attacker is going to be a 1 player. Now it's going to be who is going to score. But today's program with me and Ademo and Kennedy, Ademo was like, this match, the first and second leg, there's not going to be anything like 8 goals or 7 goals. We scored them 6-1, and then back in Egypt, are they going to score us 5-0? Never. It will never happen.
But tactically, I think that what coach might do will be substituting Samuel Nkum for Harrison Afful.
Yeah, I think
we're looking at, because now with Harrison Afful coming back, having his strength now, basically that would be one tactical change that I feel like the coach will do in this match.
Yeah.
And therefore continue to play Waris. I do not believe that he needs to start Kevin Prince Boateng because of
Kevin is even half fit. So if he should start, he will not finish the game. And then if he will not start, so he will come in to play either 30 minutes or 25 minutes. So with Harrison Afful's inclusion, I think it's perfect, because he has been the man on the left side for some quite time. And even with his club, he's playing in Esperance. That's what he do. He plays at the left, but sometimes they put him to the right flank or the right back to play for him. So Harrison on the left, I think, is nice.
But I still also have some issues to do with the goalkeeping. I mean, who will start in today's goalkeeping? Because you know that Adam Kwarasi has won the best goalkeeper in the Norwegian league, and we still have him on our bench. And we should put this guy in the post.
We are not just being fair to Kwarasi, because even in our first friendly, the friendly he played between Ghana and Brazil, was fantastic. And then Ronaldinho got a free kick, and it was like, is this goalkeeper I'm keeping for Ghana? He was best on that day.
Yeah.
And then with some little mistakes, and then Ghanaians are not being fair to the keeper.
No, it's not Ghanaians. It's not Ghanaians. It's the coach. What we believe is that this person.
That's my favorite coach. Be careful the way you talk about.
No, we all love Kusiapia. I mean, Kusiapia has been a man since. But the point is that he needs to make the right decision at the right time. This guy currently is in top form. And therefore most of us are expecting that Adam Kwarasi should be in the post. Should be in the number 1 goalkeeper for the Black Stars. But however, we find him always sitting on the bench. I believe that this is the match that, his confidence will be boosted now by coming in to win the best player. And now he's also the captain of where he's playing, and they've also performed very well in this.
I have an information for you. Take it to your sports team. Mr. Samampa is officially what do you call it? A sports analyst. Henceforth. Yes, henceforth.
Financial analyst.
Yes, I mean, Jack of all, he's doing the analysis here. Well, please tell me what you think.
Well, I'm not interested in all this tactical analysis.
I'm interested in the
No, I'm
250
coming.
fans.
I'm coming. You see, if you do remember, I think you and Alfred interviewed us before the Kumasi
Match.
and I said we're going to score Egypt.
You remember I
3-0.
predicted,
Because-
actually, I'm so proud
Easy.
saying this. I predicted 5-0.
Okay.
That's nice.
So I was happy that when they scored actually
because
6.
people were saying that Egypt system champions and all kinds, and I was looking at our players. Is it currently all the players we have are playing top level
Yeah.
soccer from goalkeepers.
Really?
Adam, yes.
Wow.
Harris is playing top soccer, regular. Listen, Daniel Opiri on the left, excellent player, recovery rate very good. He's cast in this what's the name, Roberto Carlos mode, a person who defends, but he set attacks, and he's got very fantastic recovery. The only person who hasn't got recovery is Samuel Nkum.
Yeah.
So that's if as a Afro come, then the two the right and the left full back is covered. John Boy, another fantastic player. When you go to the midfield, all of them there are playing regular first class soccer in the country. Okay, Asamoah Gyan is scoring almost every day that he plays. Abdul Majid worries.
Yeah.
I mean the speed.
So we
Okay.
have no cause to worry about
I
it.
don't know, because he put pressure on defense for them to take their eyes off Asamoah Gyan to slot in goal. So when you're talking
Please
about
ask Honorable what he
this, so I'm saying that we are going to
I said stop
score.
talking.
We are going to
Ask
score
Honorable what he
Egypt
thinks.
again in Egypt if they don't take time. We might increase the same 6-0. All this tactical analysis, I'm not saying because psychologically they are defeated.
Now ask
6-1.
Timothy.
Security, there is a security problem. If you have 30,000,
Exactly.
no, I'm coming. When you have 30,000 sitting capacity stadium, and 20,000 is going to be covered by
You know,
exchange.
Alfred was saying when the team actually got into Egypt, you had some fans in Egypt who were, all around them giving them.
I
all they had
want
to
to
do was to look out before anybody sprays anything.
The airport, if you watch the video, the airport, Asamoah Gyan was just
Yeah.
just watch if the boys are even coming.
Yeah,
That
you
was
also
how-
that.
You have to watch if my players are coming because he's the captain of the side. He was just standing around, see if the boys are coming. Because a whole security man is even having a camera, just
Yeah.
taking a shot of the boys. And then the whole question was like, security personnel you have to do your job. You're having a camera, just taking a shot of the players.
There's no security
All right,
problem.
so-
no, I want to know. No, he said there's a
No, they've
change.
changed it.
Yeah, to
At first it was 20,000 for security and then the 10,000 for fans. But it's now almost 27,000 is gone for the spectators to come watch the game.
They are putting security men in
Yes,
the
about
pitch.
1,700
stadium.
something.
What is this?
That is our bulletproof jersey.
For the match? Is this our Jesse?
Yes.
Oh my God.
True jersey, please. Please, where's the true? I mean, there's the correct one we're wearing.
No, but it's good. It's good we wear this. So that when they bomb us, we can.
we'll score them and
Oh, no, we haven't said a word about this.
Yeah, I think that, initially when we came in, you were doing the review with your colleague here.
Yeah.
He did express some reservation about the interpreter. But I think that he will be a professional interpreter, so there's no grounds to worry about the fact that if
I
he's
was
an
saying that
Egyptian,
sometimes
so
in these diplomatic.
these are professional interpreters. Secondly, too, I think that the Black Stars are going to win. Like we all predicted, the first match, I even dreamt and saw them win, but not.
Oh, one of you dreamt.
I dreamt. Yeah, the matter was that in fact that was my first time I saw live match in my dream.
And you dreamt.
And I even
We are saying this again.
and saw us winning. No, I saw Black Stars winning.
Okay.
Not Egyptians, no Black Stars winning. But not to the 6 goals.
Honorable, if your dream doesn't come true.
In my was 2.
For the second one. No, for the first one.
You know the thing is that don't let us lose sight of the fact that because we are going to play in Egypt and the fact that we humiliated them so much here, the players are going to play a tough game. But at the end of the day, we are going to become victorious. Look, and especially the match is being played at the time that we are imposing 2.5 VAT percent on our this will never get enough.
You see, Honorable has not had enough of the VAT analysis. He wants us
to be able to cushion the blast. I want the can we not have
No, actually,
bonuses.
no, the bonuses are already. No, the
1-0.
3-0. I'm going for 3-1.
And if you
No, if they
In favor
score,
of
no,
Ghanaians.
if they score one again, we'll repeat the dose.
So they shouldn't score.
They should score at all. If they make attempt to score, let's repeat the dose.
So today it's boys are bread, girls casa budget, and then it's boys are bread, girls casa match. Boys are bread.
No,
Transformational budget. That is the caption today. My name is Annie Fampopo. Thank you. I've been in the show. Nana Kwesi is a sports analyst. Honorable Timothy Atabuade is a former MP. Mr. Samampa is a financial analyst, and Mr. Kofi Kukubo is a governance expert. Thank you so much for your time. We're back tomorrow morning to do some more analysis. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.